All right, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your geographical location. Welcome to my channel. Now, this is a little something different. I normally don't do these type of videos. Typically, what I do is take some short videos of my rides, throw some music on it. It's a nice little memory for myself, and then also something for my friends and family to see what I'm up to. But today, I'm going to do something a little bit different, a little outside my comfort zone, and go over my new motorcycle. So about a month and a half ago, I picked up a 2023 Harley Pan America Special, and I traded in my 2018 Road Glide Special for it. So I'm sure there's a few of you out there who are like, what the hell were you thinking, Corey? Why did you trade in that bike for Pan America? Well, let me just put this out there first. I love that Road Glide Special. It was nice. I took that on a lot of long rides, and went several trips down to Florida, been out to the Outer Banks, even had it on the Luggage Parkway, and put quite a few miles on it. But I found myself kind of getting bored with it. Wasn't as excited to go ride it as what I normally did. Well, when I was out on those long rides, come across the typical adventure touring type, riding their big BMWs or the Honda Africa Twins. These guys are, at the gas station, you could smell them coming because they're all stinky and sweaty and full of dirt and grime, but they all have big smiles on their faces, and they all had some great stories to tell. Let me tell you, these guys were having a blast, and I started looking into them, and I started looking at the Harleys that were coming out. I always had my eye on them. I was real curious to see how they were going to do. And from what I understand, they've been selling pretty good. Now, I waited a few years before I made that jump because, for one, I've never ridden this style of motorcycle before. And but two, I kind of wanted to let the first couple of years go by, let some of those gremlins work themselves out, as with all new models that come out. Figured why not let some of you all find those for the dealers, and so they got a chance to get them fixed. And then, but anyways, I ended up with the 2023, and I absolutely love this motorcycle. Let me tell you, do I miss the Road Glide? Sure, absolutely. It was a beautiful bike, but when I was riding it, just especially on the Blue Ridge Parkway, you get up in that part of the world, and you start cruising some of those roads up around there. You see a lot of these dirt roads and gravel roads and trails, and of course there's the ADV guys come flying out of there, just having a blast. And it was like I was kind of missing it. Well, they were telling stories of no traffic to deal with, no cars, no crowds, no people, just scenery, having a good time, and getting a little dirty at the same time. So to me, that was the decision point there. It's like I needed a change in what I was doing to kind of get that passion back. So I traded it in, and I haven't regretted it, let me tell you. So anyways, let's go over some of the things that I've done with this motorcycle so far. Keep in mind, I am not a sponsor, or I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. Obviously, with only about 24, 25 subscribers, I really don't see why they would, but you can help me with that. So as we go through, if you like what I'm doing, feel free to subscribe or like. So anyways, let's get started. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this very well. The lighting today is kind of crappy out, so it's not very sunny. But anyways, so I'm a taller rider. I'm a 6'1", and as with adventure riding, you tend to stand quite a bit on some of that uneven terrain and some of that loose gravel and sand. And when I was standing, I was using the stock risers. I was hunched over so bad, and it was uncomfortable. Back was getting sore. Plus, coming from a Road Glide, going to this style of bike, This style, typically you're leaning forward a little bit, and I was very much used to sitting back nice and comfortable. So I was like, all right, first thing to do is I need to fix up the handlebar situation. So I picked up these risers from A1. I'm hoping you can see there, but they're I believe they're a 2 up, 1 back, and I tell you what a difference. They are so comfortable. I can stand fine. Actually, we got a lot better control over the motorcycle over uneven terrain, and it's so much more comfortable sitting there. All right, with the A1 risers from that I got, well, the risers I got from A1, you can also get these aftermarket guards. Now, this one's kind of covering the, I believe it's the brake cylinder there, and the previous one was really low. It actually only came up to about here and left all this unprotected, and I didn't like that because sure enough I would either get pants catching on there or whatever. I just felt more comfortable with something a little bit more substantial protecting all this, and really protecting it for myself. And then that comes with a second piece. It's over on the other side. It's really nothing much to show. Very simple installed, 2 Torx bolts. Now, at the same time that I ordered those handlebar risers, it really coming back from that same ride, I hit my first forest service road. I was charging. I was throwing down on that road, and I was probably kind of stupid on my part, since I've never ridden that kind of style before. And but anyways, I had a blast. Well, I started hearing a bunch of dents and dings and pings and all that other stuff. So I pulled over and I was looking, and my radiator was so full of crud and crap. And I was like, oh my God, one rock and I'm done. So, because there's no guard there over the wheel, so everything was getting kicked up. You can see some of that grime underneath there. I know, bike's dirty, but this style bike, it really should be dirty. You're riding it right. Anyways, picked up the Harley Radiator Guard, and then also on the Pan America, they have this old, or this, it's not old, have this aluminum skid plate, and even just on a couple miles of charging down this Forest Service road, it's had a couple dings in it already, and so I beefed that up. That is also made by Harley. I think there's a couple others that make it, but I went with Harley just because of easy bolt on. Both of these all together, maybe an hour. Most of that time for me, since I'm not mechanically inclined, was finding the right tools, the right Torx, or running off to the store to get the right tools. But anyways, it was pretty simple. All right, that's it for that. We'll move on to the next. Now, when I was out shopping for aftermarket parts, and just to kind of make this motorcycle my own, I come across some articles out there where the TFT display on this was real easy to steal. You can't see it now. This certainly isn't an instructional video on how to install, but without this guard in here, without that, the TFT display actually had a couple plastic pieces that you could punch in on each side, lift it out, and then pull the plug, and you can walk away with somebody's TFT display. So I didn't like that, because when I do travel, I'm usually hoteling it somewhere, and so I don't like the bike being protected when it's sitting in the hotel parking lot, especially if I can't park underneath the overhang. But anyways, Touratech makes a TFT guard, and it kind of bolts in, real hardware in there, runs all the way through, protects it, even provides a little bit of shade over the display, helps see it on sunnier days. And then part of that, you can also get a GPS mount. I'm actually contemplating getting the Garmin Zumo GPS, and then I think Touratech also makes a locking mechanism that locks that in place. Originally was just going to use my phone, but I found that this vibrates quite a bit to mount the phone, because I use this rock form with ram mount, ball ram mount on the handlebar. So handlebar it sits, but I think this was well worth it. Actually, this combo. Okay, next item up. Hopefully you can see it, but the rear brake fluid reservoir. So shame on Harley. They left that completely exposed underneath there, and you can see it's just a glass tube or glass bottle with the tube coming down, and completely unprotected. And that's kind of critical. We like to use our brakes when we need to, and certainly felt that was something that I would easily find a way with my clumsy butt to damage or break or whatever. So Touratech guard there was a pretty good pickup. Very easy again to install. Okay, I think that's everything for up front. Move to the back. All right, so obviously with these type of bikes, you want to take trips, you want to have some luggage, and I certainly didn't want a bungee strap down a bag to the back seat. So I ended up getting from Harley the side pannier mounting system, and then you can't see it underneath there, but basically the mounting system there for the top case. Now the top case, this is also Harley, it's all aluminum, and the reason I went with the hard case on top is that you take these trips, you bring in tools, tire inflator kits, tire repair kits, all kinds of stuff that maybe you don't necessarily need to haul into the hotel room with you, but you definitely need it with you, and you want to protect it. So that's why I went with the hard case, and pretty happy with it. It's a decent enough size. I can actually fit my whole helmet in there, plus some other stuff. And it's easy to disassemble, pull off if you want to take it off. But now I don't have them installed, but on the side bags I went with Mosko Moto soft bags. Now I've been researching these, and I kept coming back to Mosko, and they make some awesome products. These bags are rugged, and they last a long time. And I think these are, could actually be passed down as a family heirloom. That's how rugged they are. Now, why soft bags on the side and a hard case on top? Several reasons. One, soft bags, you can see that's just a slider plate. They come off real easy, and you can pack whatever you want in there, and real simple, just a quick strap to yank it off, and then you take it in your hotel room with you or wherever it is you're going. But two, really, honestly, probably the most important reason is safety. So these aluminum bags, or these aluminum boxes you throw on here, or panniers, so let's say you have an unplanned dismount, and you end up on your side. That aluminum box on the side, you could easily get your leg pinned underneath, and you're looking at broken bones. So with the soft bags, a little bit more forgiving, but not only that, a little bit lighter, I think, and because they are rugged, you're not going to damage them like you would in aluminum. You're going to get, if you have an aluminum pannier there, it's going to end up with nothing but dents and dings. So the soft bags, I think, are the way to go there, at least on the sides. Okay, the final thing that I've done with this bike is, it's like any motorcycle, usually Harleys. You want to be seen and heard. So the Pan America, when I first took it for a ride, it just kind of sounded like I was driving a George Jetson mobile or whatever. It didn't sound like a Harley, and I wanted to be a little bit deeper sound. I wanted to get noticed when I'm out on the road, especially if I'm accidentally in somebody's blind spot. I want them to hear me sitting there. And I've researched all of the aftermarket slip-ons, and I decided to go with Vance and Hines, the Adventure 450s. For one, I like the sound. I was lucky enough to find it in black, so it really doesn't change too much from the stock, but it certainly is louder. It sounds great, but it's not obnoxious like what you see on some of those where after a couple hundred miles, you get that steady drone in your ears. All that. These are actually, you really don't hear as much sitting on top of the bike, but I know those that are around you can certainly hear you. But I'm very happy with this. I'm happy I found it in black. The only thing, if you go with black, just be careful because you can scratch it. That's the only thing that I'm probably not the happiest about. But other than that, I think they look great. I'm happy with it. I love how it sounds. Okay, well, that was pretty much a rundown of everything I've done so far on this motorcycle. There are a couple other things I want to do, but I'm going to take a little break for a little bit and just enjoy what I have so far. Some of the things I'm looking at are a little bit more aggressive foot pegs. Now, again, I'm a new adventure touring rider. When I get out in the dirt and gravel, I get off pavement. Still a little uncomfortable out there, but I charge it anyways. I mean, what the hell? But I know I'm going to need new foot pegs at some point because the ones that come with it are a little small. I need something with a little wider footprint for my feet. The other thing I'm going to do too is the lighting is horrible. At night, you can easily outride your headlights. What I mean by that is, you don't, you get going too fast to where you don't have time to safely stop or slow down or avoid an obstacle in the road at night. So I'm looking for suggestions on some kind of lighting upgrade, both front and back. And then I think that's it. I'm pretty much done. So we'll see. All right. I appreciate your time. Thank you for hanging out with me for this long drawn out video. I will throw in the description. I'll throw in some videos of some other YouTubers out there that I follow and that have some instructional videos for some of these things. I'll also throw some of the links to some of these products. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of these folks. I don't have any affiliation with them at all. I'm a natural researcher, and I've found that what I've put on this bike so far has been some of the higher rated and some of the better quality stuff. So with that, thank you for your time. I appreciate you watching this. If you like what I've got going on, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you subscribe. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.